It's May of 2020 and your business is at a screeching halt. You're past the worst of the shock and you've settled into a home routine. You've caught up on Netflix, learned how to bake pie, and even planned your veggie garden. And now you're ready to get back to work, except there's no sessions coming in. Or maybe you still can't physically do any pet photography portrait sessions. So what could you be doing for your business right now? Monique Renee here, photographer at Silver Paw Studio, and on this channel, I empower you to tell all of your tales with tales through photography and videography. Truth be told, everyone, I am in the same boat. Although we transitioned in Colorado to a model that I am allowed to do physical portrait sessions, there's not any coming in the door. Like you, I've taken plenty of time to let the state of the world really sink in. I've done the same thing. I've established new normals at home. I've baked. I've planned a garden. I've caught up on Netflix. But now that we're more than 8 weeks in, I'm having more days that feel productive than days that I feel like nesting or coping. And when I talk about being productive, I'm not talking about the old days of chaotic busyness. Your calendar is full, you have all these networking meetings and events to attend. I don't relish going back to that. Really, what this time has turned into for me as an established pet photographer, perhaps like you, is a time to work on my business instead of in my business. Now, early on this spring, I wrote a big list of all the things that I've been meaning to work on when I have time. Now, that list has shrunk and grown and morphed over the few weeks here. And while some things are going to remain untouched for now, other things I've decided have become a priority. For my studio, I've narrowed my list down to a few things that I wanted to accomplish, and each time I accomplish those things, I feel just a little bit better. I feel like I'm not taking on everything. I don't need to go from 0 to 100. I just need to go from 0 to 1, and 1 to 2, and 2 to 3. And each time that I check one of these, even a small thing, off my list, I feel like I'm doing something for my business. I even have one big project that's been on my list for 1.5 years that I've decided now is the time to tackle. If you're in the same situation as me right now, thinking, what can I do besides actual photography to help my business? So let me tell you some of the things that I've been doing and then also give you some ideas to consider. And the idea here is not to finish 100% of the things on your list, but it's to feel like you're making some progress. Here are some things that I've finished in my studio. I had some videography projects that I was working on in December that I finished editing and delivered. I filed my sales taxes. I refreshed my logo. I started a little highlighted story on Instagram called Bailey's Wisdom, and every day I post a funny picture and what I think Bailey might be thinking. I created a better charging station in my office at home to charge all the different types of batteries. I went through all of my props and cleaned my studio here. I decided to take a break from my podcast/radio show. I've probably only posted 2 or 3 instead of 4 or 6. And I even actually spoke at 2 online events. With each project, I feel just a little bit more accomplished. It gives me that boost to try the next thing on my list. In reality, these even feel like a bigger accomplishment, knowing the extra effort I had to put in during this pandemic. I came up with a whole list of ideas for you, and I'm going to share some now, but it's pretty extensive. I've gotten so many questions about the business side of pet photography that I've decided to start a whole separate email list just for the business part. If you want to join that list, I invite you at the link in the description below. And when you do that, you'll get the free PDF that goes along with this. The PDF is actually 2 pages. If you're a person who's just thinking about starting a pet photography business, there's an entire page of things you could be doing from home there too. Okay, let's take a look at some of the ideas. Now, as an established pet photographer, these are probably things you've been saying, oh, I'll get to that when I have time. Maybe you have time now. How about refresh your logo? Explore social media features. So maybe you don't know much about Instagram stories, but you've been wanting to learn. Now would be a time to poke around in that app. This is a fun one. Refresh your galleries. It's always fun to go through the pictures we've already taken. Organize all your gear. I've done that. And clean. So organize and clean your gear. Keep in contact with your current clients. Keep writing blog posts. Continue devouring all of the information out there. Maybe there is a class that you want to take on a skill you'd like to learn, perhaps editing. Maybe there's something you want to learn in your accounting software or your CRM. Devour all the classes that you can. And this is a time to refresh all of your sales materials and have them ready to print. Maybe your samples too. Sales materials, samples. Even if you don't print any of that now, you'll have the files ready to go. There's so much more. You can call your credit card processors and see if you can get a lower rate. And of course, continue to offer gift certificates. Gift certs. Those are just a few of the ideas I thought of, and some of those I have implemented myself, and some are still on my list. The biggest project I've taken on is to refresh my entire website. This has been on my list for 1.5 years. Last year, I started offering video services for families and businesses, and there's nothing on my website about that service. So the person that I had design my website last time, 3 or 4 years ago, I called her up and she actually had time. So we're partway through the process of refreshing my website, and I'm hoping that'll be done in the next month. That was a huge undertaking, and it was a big decision. It's sending money out when I'm not getting money in. But my thinking behind that was I want to be completely ready. When the world is ready to come back open fully, and they're gonna have some needs for photography and videography, I want to be there and ready for them. I wanna have my processes in place, my workflows in place, questions answered on my sleek new website. I wanna be ready to go. Although I'm not making much money right now, I'm setting myself up to be ready to go out of the gate in the near future. How are you doing during this time? Is there any way that I can help you? If you have ideas of content you'd like to see, type them in the comments. If people are interested in seeing more of the business side of pet photography, I'll make even more of these videos. And if you're one of those people who like the business videos, check out this entire playlist I've got ready for you. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world, and as always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs.